Good day, guys. Welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Over the weekend, it was my birthday, and as well as my gorgeous, fantastic girlfriend Jen sending me a bunch of action figures, I decided to order this lady for myself. This is the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Dark Knight Rises Catwoman. Yes, this is my favourite live action version of Catwoman. A lot of people say the likes of Michelle Pfeiffer or Halle Berry, but for me, my favourite live action version of Selina Kyle has to be Anne Hathaway from the Nolan movies. And for the simple reason is she does a fantastic job as Selina Kyle. She is a grifter. She is able to go from this meek housemaid to this devious thief in the drop of a hat. My favourite scene as well is where she abducts a senator, I think, and manages to trick one of Bane's henchmen into calling the police because there's been an APB out on the dude. He's been missing. She quote-unquote kidnapped him and took him to a bar. So when Bane's henchmen do plan on killing her, they end up inadvertently drawing the police to their location, and a firefight ensues where she turns into this meek damsel in distress and starts screaming, and then sleeks on out the back of the bar. It's an amazing performance, and I really felt it was a really good interpretation of Catwoman that was close to the character but still worked in the ultra-realistic Nolan universe of The Dark Knight. Another thing about the performance as well is Anne Hathaway actually based the performance on classic Hollywood actress Hedy Lamarr. Her cadence, her speech patterns, the way she moved, it added this kind of sultry effect to Selina Kyle, and it shows fantastically upon the screen. Again, I just feel that there's a lot more depth to this Selina Kyle than some other interpretations. Not that Michelle Pfeiffer or Halle Berry or even Zoe Kravitz aren't cool, but I just feel my favourite kind of sultry and sensual Catwoman definitely has to be Anne Hathaway's version. So enough of my rambling, let's take a look at the packaging for the figure. So it is a collector friendly box. They've already won me over with this. You have the figure inside. It shows the different accessories. She has 2 spare sets of hands. She has Batman's broken cowl, and she has Martha Wayne's necklace in the little kind of jewelry display box there. Flip it to the back and we have a picture from The Dark Knight Rises of Selina Kyle, and there is the logo there. I was kind of worried because when they initially showed this figure, she was only paired with the Batpod, but common sense prevailed and they actually released an individual figure. But yeah, I'm delighted they released her because, as I said before, this is my favourite live action interpretation of Catwoman. So yeah, guys, I'm going to pause the video here, and when we come back, we'll have a closer look at the figure out of the box. Don't go anywhere, I shall be right back. And we are back, and here is Catwoman out of the box. So before we look at the accessories, let's look at the figure. So yeah, let's have a closer look at the figure on her own. And first off, I can tell you, they've done a really good job capturing Anne Hathaway's features, I think. If it'll just focus in there. And yeah, even though she's wearing a mask, you can really identify the actress. And they done a really cool job with that face sculpt. It isn't perfect, and I think they overindulged in the rouge, but you can definitely tell who it's meant to be. And that's the main thing. Nice paintwork on the skin. They didn't overdo it on the lipstick and the colour of the hair. And again, yeah, they really captured Anne Hathaway's look. Again, not perfect, but you can tell. That's the cool thing. Even though she's wearing a mask, you can tell who it's supposed to be. The detailing on the mask itself, it's pretty cool. I like the fact in the Nolan Batman, everything's realistic. So Nolan found a kind of cheat by making Selina's night vision goggles flip upwards and look like cat ears. And she's wearing a very kind of tactical kind of suit. Figure hugging, yes, but again, it's Catwoman, you know. You have to take the sensuality, but there is a level of practicality. I mean, if she's robbing buildings that have motion sensors and infrared, then something like this suit might block out her body heat. But yeah, the level of detail added, as you can see the zipper there. And with the gloves, they added a kind of glossy wash to make them look kind of rubber or leather, which is really cool. I like that, that's really cool. And her tactical belt. And there's even folds, even worked folds into the material. And they did the same trick with the boots as they did with the gloves. One thing I'm not too gone on is they put branding on the legs. I wish maybe they had put it on the base of the shoes or something. But it doesn't take too much from the figure. Again, nice kind of folding as well. Going through the leather and just flip to the back here. And there's her derriere in the suit. And again, it's cool. I like this version of Catwoman. There's a sensuality, but there's a tactility and a utilitarian kind of nature to her suit as well. It makes sense she'd wear something a bit more advanced to go robbing buildings and stuff. And as I said before, I thought the idea using the goggles flipped upwards to look like cat ears worked. It gave Nolan a cheat to make the character essentially Catwoman without straight out making her dress like a cat. But yeah, articulation wise, articulation is fairly solid. You have a double joint in the elbow, and it's not too horrendous. Some of the double joints in these are like super obvious, but this one isn't too bad. Same on this one. Arms can go back a wee bit. This one is prevented because her hair goes over the shoulder. Head-wise, there is a limited range of movement. The hair isn't solid. It isn't solid plastic, so you can manipulate it a wee bit for a bit of range of movement, but it definitely restricts it. Torso-wise, the kind of main torso, there isn't much give in the main torso. Yeah, it's a bit tight. It's a bit tight for my liking, so I'm not going to fool around with it too much. She has very limited range of motion in her legs, which is disappointing because it's Catwoman. Particularly this one. Now, it could be maybe I need to do the old hot water trick, but still, it's a bit disappointing. There isn't more movement in the legs. Going down, like with the arms, there is a double joint in the knee, and the legs can be moved where the boots, where the thigh-high boots go up to. There is rotation there, so that's something at least. And there is a bit of give in the ankles, so that's pretty solid. Again, I love her metal stilettos. She uses them as a weapon in one scene, if I'm not mistaken. I think when she's threatening to kill Ben Mendelsohn, she pins his hand to a wall with the metal stilettos. But again, really cool character. Like her design. Figure's fairly solid. Doesn't look exactly like Anne Hathaway, but it's still fairly fucking close. So I can't dispute it. That and the paintwork on it is fantastic. My only kind of real gripes with this is the limited range of motion in the legs and a bit of limited motion in the shoulders. But bar that, it's still a pretty solid figure, and I'm glad I picked her up. Accessory wise, she comes with a number of accessories, and the first one we're going to have a look at is the data card. These come with all the DC Multiverse figures. There you have Catwoman on the card. Flip it to the back, and we'll just read it here. Data file. It's been 8 years since Batman vanished into the night, turning in that instant from hero to fugitive, assuming the blame for the death of D.A. Harvey Dent. The Dark Knight sacrificed everything for what he and Commissioner Gordon both hoped was the greater good. For a time, the lie worked, as criminal activity in Gotham City was crushed under the weight of the Anti-Crime Dent Act. But everything will change with the arrival of a cunning cat burglar with a mysterious agenda. Far more dangerous, however, is the emergence of Bane, a masked terrorist whose ruthless plan for Gotham drives Bruce out of his self-imposed exile. But even if he dons the cape and cowl again, Batman may have met his match for Bane. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty solid. Other accessories she comes with is this, if I'm not mistaken. This is the pearls she steals from Wayne Manor. And yeah, this is really nicely presented. There's a bit of scuffing on the paintwork there, but it's not too bad. And just you get the feeling it's laying on maybe a kind of satin or velvet kind of platter as well. And the box is fairly plain, but just the presentation makes it look kind of genuine. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Other cool accessories she comes with is Batman's destroyed cowl. This is when Bane beats the shit out of Batman. She betrays him and gets him trapped in a battle with Bane where he literally breaks the bat. But that's a cool accessory to pack with her as well. But yeah, she also comes with a number of spare hands, and the first set are for gripping weapons, particularly pistols. In the movie, she does use an automatic pistol to fight off some of Bane's men. Batman does stop her, as he says he doesn't like guns, and later on Selina kind of saves Batman and makes him look like a fucking idiot by blowing up Bane using the Batpod. So she has no problem with killing people or using weapons. So yeah, that's pretty cool. They included them with her. And the second set of hands are these balled fists, so she can go fisticuffs with some guys, because she does kick the shit out of some dudes in this movie. And that's pretty awesome. The last accessory she comes with is one that comes with all the DC Multiverse figures, and it is this plain black stand with the DC logo on it. It's pretty nice, pretty solid, and I'm guessing with her heels she'll probably need it. So yeah, it's pretty cool to include that with it. And yeah, essentially that's all the accessories she comes with. But yeah guys, I'm going to pause the video here, and when I come back I'm going to compare her to some other figures in the same line. So don't go anywhere, I shall be right back. And we are back, and there is Catwoman in my alleyway. And I am going to put another female rogue from Batman's Pantheon next to her. I'm going to put the Suicide Squad's Harley Quinn next to her. Maybe they'll be pals. So yeah, there's Harley next to Catwoman, and that scales up really well. You could have them on a team up getting ready to do a caper. And so the boys don't feel left out, I'm going to put another Suicide Squad member next to her. I'm going to put Peacemaker right there. And yeah, he kind of towers over there, but it makes sense because it's John fucking Cena. Interestingly enough, Selina is actually going to be joining the Suicide Squad for a new Suicide Squad run. I wonder, will we see a bit of animosity between her and Harley since the Gotham City Sirens split up? Who knows? But yeah guys, I really like this figure. Bar some issues with the articulation and the legs and arms, it's fairly solid. I think they could have gone a bit further and maybe made the goggles be able to flip down. I think that would have been really interesting. That said, it's still a really awesome figure. The face sculpt is nice. Not exactly like Anne Hathaway, but close enough. I think maybe they overindulged in the rouge on the cheeks, but still a very solid figure, and I'm really happy she's in my collection. I think Anne Hathaway is kind of overlooked when people rank their Catwomen, because she kicked arse. I thought she kicked ass. She was sultry, she was confident, and she went toe-to-toe with Batman. Now that said, it doesn't take from the other Catwomen, but I just feel she is the most badass live-action version, in my opinion. But yeah guys, who is your favourite Catwoman? Let me know in the comments below, and are you a fan of Anne Hathaway's portrayal? Let me know that in the comments below as well. My name is Martin, this has been the Trash Picture Show, and yeah, have a good one, take care, bye now. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention my second favourite live-action Catwoman, and that has to be Eartha Kitt. Why? Because it's Eartha Kitt, and as Monty says, enough said.